Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Sam Kohlmeyer.
And I'm Taylor Musgrove. Let's take a look at the news.
Charlie Steiner, current play-by-play announcer for the LA Dodgers and famed broadcast journalist, came back to Bradley University this week for the annual Charlie Steiner Symposium. He graduated from Bradley in 1971 and began hosting his favorite sports show in Davenport, Iowa. He went on to join ESPN in 1988 as an anchor on SportsCenter. Steiner's good friend Larry King joined us this week as panels on various communication topics commenced. Josh Smith has more.
The third annual Charlie Steiner Symposium was held yesterday at Bradley. Many people from various backgrounds came to speak at different panels throughout the day to give insight and perspective on various topics.
The business has morphed from, in this town, there were 4 AM radio stations, 3 FM radio stations, and 3 television stations. That was it. Nobody then had any idea how this industry would evolve into what it has become.
During the What You Can Do with a Postgraduate Education, Bradley President Gary Roberts spoke on the panel.
If you can come up with the with the money to pay for the tuition, and you can afford the opportunity costs of taking 2-3 years out of your life to go get an advanced degree, I think it is more than worth it.
Rob Tobias was on hand for the Sports Public Relations panel. Rob spoke about his early years at ESPN, how no one knew what ESPN would be.
It was a dream job, to be sure. I could not wait to get to work every day, pick up the phone, and that's what I did. I was a salesman for ESPN. We had dozens and if not hundreds of on-air people, radio, writers, and it was an exciting time.
Julie DeCaro spoke about how much of an impact Twitter makes on social media during the New Media Challenges and Opportunities panel.
Twitter now, I think it's impossible to work in sports media and do your job without Twitter. Teams are breaking news on Twitter. The Cubs broke the Jose Quintana trade on Twitter. That was the first time anyone heard of it, and the beat writers didn't even have it. So you have to be on there, and you have to be able to take in a lot of information pretty quickly.
The evening ended with Larry King, Charlie Steiner, and Jim Hiller. The panel was the rise and fall of ESPN.
Journalism is very expensive. Talk is cheap. So you can get a half a dozen hosts to scream at each other all day, fill some of those 8,700 hours, and it's done. But if you are trying to program a show like SportsCenter with sending correspondents out and researching and real journalistic enterprise, that's a hell of a lot of money. When you have those talk shows, it's cost contained. You know exactly what it's going to cost you every year. You're going to pay somebody some amount of money. You got a guy who runs the prompter, you got a couple of cameramen, you got a couple of producers. That's cost contained. But when you are sending correspondence...
King came to Bradley to announce an endowment donation for underrepresented students that will be used in scholarships in perpetuity. If you would like to see any of these panels in their entirety, they will be up later this week in their entirety on BUTV News' YouTube page. For BUTV News, I'm Josh Smith.
Last Thursday night, ACBU brought National Slam Poetry champion G.M. Azawa to campus for a performance that filled the Marty Theater. Being from Durham, North Carolina, G.M. Azawa tells stories of what it is like to be both Asian and from the South through his writing and why both are important to him. A heavy influence of his hometown and cultural identity in his work, G has performed both his music and poetry regionally and internationally, with his debut album charting at number 37 on iTunes' Top 100 Rap Artists. While students wait for the second album, they can find his poetry and music on platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud, as well as his website, gmazawa.com.
Last Thursday, Sigma Lambda Gamma brought Day of the Dead to Bradley again and weren't shy about celebrating. With dancing, food, music, and more, the members of SLG welcomed everyone to join in celebrating their loved ones.
Students attended the event with the opportunity to learn more about the Mexican holiday and join in on the traditional painting of skulls. To start the event off, Ana Velasquez and a few members of Sigma Lambda Gamma gave an introduction to what the day is.
So Dia de los Muertos is Day of the Dead, and it's basically like commemorating our loved ones that have passed away, and it goes from October 31st to November 2nd.
Along with traditional bread of the dead, hot chocolate, and a live mariachi band, students had the opportunity to participate in a pumpkin painting contest that they could present at the end of the event.
At the event we had pumpkin painting, so we asked people to paint the pumpkins with different colors, and each color represents something different. Like, for example, black represented death, red represented like blood, and orange represented like sunlight and like happiness.
Another coordinator of the event and member of Sigma Lambda Gamma, Crystal Alvarez, explains why putting this event on to celebrate the holiday is important to their sorority.
So SLG put this event on. This is the third year we've actually done Dia de los Muertos, so it's kind of a tradition we've like trying to establish that like SLG puts on this event, and we want to put it on because cultural awareness is one of our principles, so we want people to know what Dia de los Muertos is.
Ana tells us a little bit about how her family celebrates the holiday back home and why it's difficult to do it on a college campus.
My family would go to our church, and we would actually have candles for the loved ones, and it's just like a mass that is special for them or like commemorated for them.
Students can look for future events from Sigma Lambda Gamma by checking Hilltop Happenings or the Bradley website. For BUTV News, this has been Michelle Rice.
This past week, Bradley hosted the Midwest Artist Symposium. This event talked about the social and cultural impact women artists have on people and their communities. This two-day event had women artists from Chicago and the surrounding areas discussing their struggles and experiences during a critical time in American history. Whether it was painters, sculptors, or graphic designers, these women paved the way for artists today.
It's important for students to have the opportunity to hear scholars and, in this case, other artists and whatever as well, right here on campus.
Students had the opportunity to learn, listen, and talk with these accomplished women about their journeys. The Visual Voices lectures throughout the semester is a similar event that allows students to hear the unique journeys of artists and how they produce their work. Next, we'll be talking to Brett about the upcoming week's weather.
And later, we'll visit Anthony from around town.
Tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
getting pretty cold outside. I think it's about time to retire our summer attire, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
All righty, Sam. Yeah, it's actually been really cold outside, so it's about time we do retire that summer attire and we start bundling up with scarves, hats, and coats. Now, if we take a look at our Illinois radar, we can see that there's nothing currently affecting us as far as rain. There is some clouds slowly developing in the northwest, as well as some rain and some clouds picking up in the southeast, but this should not affect us at all here in Peoria or Illinois. If we're taking a look at our temperature radar, however, Jack Frost is visiting the Midwest because, as you guys can see, it's blue surrounding all over. That blue will slowly start engulfing into the Midwest with lows of 44, 39. We can see the highest being 56 in Oklahoma down there, but winter is taking full effect, so it's time that we start bundling up. Now, if we're taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we can see that we have a high of 44 tomorrow with some cloud coverage, but it will be the coldest at night with a 21-degree wind chill. If we go on to Friday into the weekend, we can see we drop down to 37, only to pick back up to 41 on Saturday, which will, however, be slightly cloudy. 42 on Sunday with some rain, and on Monday, starting off the week, we can see a high of 46 with sunshine. It's time we take a look at entertainment with Taylor Musgrove.
Thank you, Brett. According to Nielsen, a total of 15.8 million people watched the first episode of Stranger Things 2 during the first 3 days it came out. 4.6 million people have already gotten through all 9 episodes since it came out 12 days ago. As far as season 3, the Duffer Brothers have told us there will be more kids with powers like 11, more of the Shadow Monster's goals will be released, more love triangles, and of course, more suspense. Disney researchers are in the process of designing fireworks for the blind. This means the visually impaired can put their hands on a screen and actually feel the fireworks through water jets on the other side. They will be able to feel tactile fireworks that are directly analogous to physical fireworks happening in the sky. Though the technology is still in the demonstration phase, researchers are intending on testing out the visually impaired users soon. 56-year-old actor George Clooney said he isn't in a rush to take on any new roles in films anytime soon. He told the Sunday Times that acting isn't a priority for him anymore and that he is taking a break. Clooney recently sold his tequila company Casa Amigos for $1 billion and says because of this, he just doesn't need money anymore and wants to take more time to spend with his recently born twins. Hopefully, we will be seeing him on the big screen again in the future.
George Clooney, I'm gonna miss him on the big screen. One of my favorites.
I know.
I'm gonna miss him too, but it'd be nice for a donation to my college fund.
Yeah. So hit us up. That's BUTV News at bradley.edu. Anyway, coming up, we have an interesting guest with us from Bradley Student Senate.
And stick around for some Brave sports updates.
Hey, did you hear what the egg said after a night out of drinking?
What?
Lit. Did you bring the smokes?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't have any time to get them today. I'll pay you back.
No problem. I don't understand how you can smoke those anyway.
It gives me an edge. Like, I just feel more relaxed when I have them.
I can do that without smoking anything, though.
Look, you gotta try one before you judge me.
You know what? Never mind.
Join the cause to help end the use of cigarettes. For more information, visit thetruth.com.
How observant are you? Do you see me walking down the halls? How about the sidewalk? Why do you insist that I'm not there? How observant are you? Do you notice that I don't belong? Do you notice that nobody cares? Do you notice that my life is worthless?
Not at all. But I notice you.
This week, Bradley is hosting an interactive experience known as the Tunnel of Oppression. Tonight, we are tuning in with Camille Sanders from Student Senate to learn a bit about what the Tunnel of Oppression is and how you can get involved and take part.
I'm Emmanuel Wajiman reporting live for BUTV News tonight. We're currently at the Student Ballroom Center, right outside. We are currently outside the Student Ballroom Center where the Tunnel of Oppression is currently taking place. I also have with me here Camille Sanders, the Vice President of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion from the Student Senate. We have here to tell us and give us insight about what's happening right here on the hilltop tonight. Camille, can you tell us a bit what's happening right here tonight?
Yeah, so this is the Tunnel of Oppression, and basically what it is it's interactive guided tours that highlights contemporary issues of oppression.
So, Camille, what kind of experiences can students expect to get from the Tunnel of Oppression?
So there's 9 different sections of the tunnel that each student will go through, and it's sexual assault, body image, student debt, mental health, African American women in law enforcement, the trans experience, the rise of anti-Semitism, and power and privilege.
So what's the purpose of holding an event like this?
So it's to expose Bradley students to the different kinds of realities that their fellow students may be facing.
Okay. So do you think this event is effective for student participation?
Yeah, I do. I think, like I said, it exposes students to these different realities that they might have been aware of before or they might not have, and it just kind of is able to open students' eyes to like the different worlds that people live in.
Okay. So how can students get in on the tours?
So currently all the tours are signed up actually. They're all full, but if students are still interested in being involved in the Tunnel of Oppression, they can sign up online through the ODI, the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. They will be waitlisted, but they'll show up, and if someone else either drops their spot or doesn't show up, they can take their place and go in.
Okay, so Camille, if a student wants to get in touch or learn more about the Student Senate or the tunnel, who can they reach out to?
For Student Senate, you can reach out to the Student Body President, Dave Jensen, or the Speaker of the Assembly, Kelsey Vogt. We also host General Assemblies every Monday from 5 to 6:30 in the Garrett Center, and those are open to the public. If you're interested in knowing more about the Tunnel of Oppression, you can contact Norris Chase, who's the Executive Director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion.
Thank you, Camille, for being with us here tonight. Reporting live for BUTV News, I'm Emmanuel Wajiman.
Last week, instead of hitting the town, we decided to put a little spin on our own around town and hit the water. Anthony Landell has more.
I'm Anthony Landell. We're here on the Spirit of Peoria, not for a night on the town, but a night on the water, 19th century style. Let's check it out here on Around Town.
Many people have seen the Spirit of Peoria while walking on the riverfront. But there's much more to it than meets the eye.
The boat has been in Peoria since 1988. They were going to sell the boat, and that's when Alex Greaves, the current owner of the boat, said, hey, I don't want this to leave Peoria, and he decided to buy the boat.
Captain Dylan Masonholder has been with the Spirit of Peoria for almost 10 years, but his love for sailing started long before then.
When I was in high school, my brother had a job here on the boat. When he was getting ready to leave for college, he said, hey, my little brother needs a job. You guys should give him one. So I started working here. I loved what I did. I asked Alex, the owner of the vessel, how can I make a career out of this? And he took me through it, and I ended up becoming a captain.
The Spirit of Peoria offers day trips, moonlight cruises, live music, and even themed dinner cruises. It is also available to rent for parties, private cruises, and fraternity and sorority formals. There are other boats around the U.S. similar to the Spirit of Peoria, but this vessel offers a local experience.
Think of it like a family-run business. You know, he wants to do what other boats do, to be more personable with the guests on board. It's a whole different atmosphere from those boats.
In addition to moonlight cruises, the Spirit of Peoria also offers murder mystery cruises and holiday cruises that run through early December. It's a wonderful, very unique experience. I would definitely recommend you come out here. So I'm Anthony Landell for BUTV News.
Next, we'll talk to Cassandra to see how the Braves competed over this past week.
And later, we have a Bradley band performing an original song.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I'll be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
So what's been up with sports lately at BU?
Well, so far we've been doing really good. How was the game on last week, on Wednesday?
It was actually really good. D-Lo actually had a standout performance, so it was really cool to watch that.
That's good.
It's amazing.
Let me tell you a little bit more about Dealer's performance. Bradley's volleyball battle Loyola involved Paraiso this past weekend, but both lost contests. The team looks to close out the season with a 3-game homestand battling Illinois State, Evansville, and Indiana State. Renaissance Coliseum will host I-74 Revival, Illinois State, on Saturday at 7 p.m. Shea Stadium will be busy this week as Bradley Soccer, the most improved Division I men's soccer team, will host the Missouri Valley Tournament. Bradley will play as the 3-seed hosting Drake at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Last Saturday, Bradley took home a win thanks to Jalen Johnson header, and goalkeeper Brandon Barnes will look to continue his MVC reign in the tournament. Bradley men's basketball played last Wednesday in an exhibition game against the Robert Morris Eagles and won 87-57. All 12 Braves scored. D-Lo led the Braves in scoring with 17 points. The team opens the regular season at Carver Arena against IUPUI on Saturday. Well, that was a great performance from D-Lo.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they bring this year. Super
I'm excited for the season to continue.
Yes. We've got so much good stuff coming up. Well, anyway, next, check out some of our upcoming events and our weekly musical guest.
And we will be right back.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Let's check out this week's events. ACBU Cinema will be showing a summer box office hit this weekend, starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. in the Marty Theater. Atomic Blonde stars Charlize Theron and James McAvoy as CIA and KGB agents in the late 1980s that try to reveal each other to their respective governments. The showings are free to students and concessions will be $1. Head over to Markin Recreation Center this Friday at 9 p.m. for Late Night BU. The monthly event hosted by ACBU will feature a root beer float bar along with some other seasonal activities. It will run until about 1 a.m., so come on by for some snacks and some fun. The Music Scholarship Series will continue at Bradley with a performance from the Symphonic Band and Symphonic Winds this Sunday, November 12th at 3 p.m. in the Dingle Dine Music Center. Tickets are free for students and $10 for adults, and the proceeds go towards scholarships for Bradley music students. The bands will be led by Dr. David Vorman, the Director of Band Activities and a chairperson for the music department here at Bradley.
Well, that's it for BUTV News this week. I'm Taylor Musgrove.
I'm Bert Griffin.
I'm Cassandra Torres.
And I'm Sam Kohlmeyer. Tonight we leave you with a performance from one of Bradley's own, Swimming with Sharks. That sounds a little scary. I don't know if I'm ready for that one, but we'll see you back here next week.
Her long brown hair covering her cheeks. In a moment I've been waiting for 4 weeks. My heart got up and nodded. It's all in my head, waking up in my bed. And I know it's all the same, just a player in a game. But you could tell there was something about her by the look on her. And our time is kind of shit. And I wish just for a bit that the one I wanna hold was at the other end of the phone. And I had to take the train, leave her in the pouring rain. And I go to sleep with her, and I wake up of cigarettes, but she's too smart to go and smoke. Let's see where this goes, were the words I wish she spoke. The face of a winner, but the heart of a sinner. And if you go act like a dickhead, you'll find it hard to win her. Now we go, and I climb this kind of shit. And I wish just for a bit that the one I wanna hold was at the other end of the phone. And I had to take the train, leave her in the pouring rain. But I go to bed with her, and I wake up